Tonight, there are growing questions about Valley restaurants that have remained open for dining in defiance of the governor's order. For example, in Palm Desert, several restaurants along El Paseo are still serving patrons both outdoors and indoors. Last night, the city held an emergency meeting which was closed to the public. I spoke today with Mayor Kathleen Kelly. Kathleen, it's good to see you again. Thanks for joining us.
It's a privilege to be here.
The city held an emergency meeting closed to the public yesterday. What can you tell us about that and how it relates to restaurants and businesses that have remained open?
Well, to state what I hope we all realize, we positively, absolutely have to do something to support our frontline healthcare workers, many of whom are close to the breaking point. So our council wants to do everything that we possibly can to get our residents and our businesses through this pandemic, and also to support our frontline healthcare workers. So the aim of our conversation was to stage as many initiatives as we could.
What do you personally make of restaurants along El Paseo, for example, remaining open when the current orders prohibit that?
My personal posture is that each and every person should do all that we can to keep our risk as close to zero as possible. And that includes supporting our restaurants that are restricted to takeout. That's still a safe option. And I'm committed to working to an outcome in which all of our restaurants are on a level playing field. And we're all behaving in a way that keeps our risk as close to zero as possible. And I believe we can get there pretty expeditiously without encouraging people to be for or against anything. We have to be united and single-minded in supporting each other to keep that risk as close to zero as possible.
What is the reaction that you're hearing from residents in Palm Desert about this? Are people in favor of seeing these restaurants serving customers indoors and outdoors? Or do they think that they should follow the orders that other restaurants are following right now?
I'm hearing a variety of reactions. I'm hearing passionate concern about health and welfare, and a desire to see all of our residents and businesses comply with outstanding orders. We are a society of laws. I'm also hearing real empathy for our businesses that are struggling to survive and for the employees that depend upon them. So one of the initiatives that the city will be striving to move forward with very, very quickly is further economic support for our businesses that are compliant.
Part two now of my interview with the mayor of Palm Desert, Kathleen Kelly, on restaurants staying open in the city. These restaurants have presumably been open for more than a week now. Why now that you're taking action?
Well, this is not the beginning of action. When the order first came out, cities were encouraged to refer compliance issues to state agencies responsible for licenses, so that they could be responsive to generate compliance. And we've done that. But we're not the only city faced with some number of non-compliant businesses. So there hasn't been an immediate response from those agencies.
Are you aware, Kathleen, have any citations been issued for these restaurants? Has the city taken any sort of disciplinary action or planning to take any steps to bring these restaurants into compliance with the order?
One of the things that will be on the agenda at our upcoming meeting is improving our city order so that we have more tools. We have the flexibility to be responsive in those ways as the situation requires.
I just interviewed another restaurant owner who felt frustrated seeing other restaurants that are not following the governor's order. He's staying closed right now, but from his point of view, it feels a little unfair that some restaurants are not playing by the same rules. So what would you say to those folks who are watching other businesses open and serving indoors and outdoors right now when they're not?
I am completely empathetic, and that's why I said the city is committed to getting all of our businesses, restaurants, and otherwise on a level playing field so that that's not happening.
Okay, does the city have any financial help for restaurants that are doing takeout only, or are you relying more on help from the state or county?
One of the key initiatives that we hope to push forward on the 22nd is significant financial help for restaurants and other businesses that are compliant.
Before we let you go, Kathleen, is there a message that you would like to share with the community right now about everything that's going on with these businesses and what you want people to know who have a lot of questions, obviously, about what they're seeing?
Thank you. It's time to put our debates to the side. It's time to be unified in our commitment to keep our personal risk and exposure to zero, or as close to zero as possible, for the sake of our frontline healthcare workers. So patronize restaurants with takeout, make choices that keep your risk and the risk of those close to you as close to zero as possible.
All right, Kathleen, we appreciate your time. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.